Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church, and I'm here today to share another thought with you about statements about God. And this one comes from Psalm 34. It's really a simple kind of a phrase and one we can talk about and see what we see. Psalm 34, verse 8 says this: Taste and see that the Lord is good. Oh, the joys of those who take refuge in him. Well, now, this passage is kind of a challenge. You know, there aren't many passages in the Bible that come across this way. But here the psalmist is saying about God, taste and see. In other words, try him out. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Now, I don't know about you, but a number of folks only seem to have time for God when something horrible happens. And usually in those moments, the kind of response you get is, why, God? Well, I guess you could almost say, well, why not? I mean, bad things happen to everybody. But it seems like to me when I talk with folks, they're not really interested in God an awful lot of the time. They got better interests. They got better things to do. They're too busy. And maybe you're too busy. Or maybe they've just had bad experiences with Christianity and so they're not interested. But you know, Christianity is religion. Christianity isn't a relationship. I mean, it's a religion about a relationship. Yeah, that I'll buy. But the church itself, while it's supposed to resemble and reflect God's relationship with man, it's also composed of people who are just like you and me. We mess up. And we make a really big mistake when we equate the church with what Christianity is. You see, this passage here is simply saying, taste and see that the Lord is good. Try him out. Try doing what he says for your time. Try following his examples. You know, if you look at the life of Jesus, the embodiment of God himself on this earth, he lived a pretty good life. Oh, he didn't build a rich kingdom. Well, he did, but not on this earth. He never had a really big house. I guess we could say he never had the fanciest donkey in the land. He didn't take vacations very much. He didn't buy a lot of things. He had no need for consumer reports to figure out what's the best buy. He just lived his life sharing with people and ministering to their needs. Wouldn't it be neat to have so much money, since that's what we use today, but have so much money that you could just walk around and help people out who needed it? Maybe a young couple trying to buy a house. Give them money to buy a house. Maybe somebody who's working hard 2 jobs, maybe even 3, trying to make ends meet. You give them enough money so they don't have to do that. Maybe you go to a fast food place and you just say, hey, I'd like to give a bonus to all your workers. You know, to spend your life like Jesus, going around doing good, would really be an exciting life, I think. So here the invitation is, taste and see that God is good. Experience him. Look out for him. I don't mean to take care of him. Look out to see him. Pay attention to what he's doing in your life. And then share that with those that you meet. Well, it goes on to say, the end of the verse here, oh, the joys of those who take refuge in him. Now, first off, you don't get the joys if you don't take refuge in him. This is not uh, it's not a deal where it doesn't cost you anything. You have to decide to walk with him in your daily life. Now, how you do that, when you do that's up to you. There's no secret formula here. There's no magic phrase that makes it work. But I just ask you, as I read somewhere in the past, if you were accused of being a Christian, would there be enough evidence to convince you? If the answer is yes, then you're probably walking in his ways. If the answer is no, well, you're probably not. But it says, all the joys of for those who take refuge in him. If you want the joy, if you want the contentment, if you want the peace, if you want the excitement about life, well, then you have to take refuge in God. You have to make him first in your life, not second, third, fourth, fifth, eighth, 10th, 50th, and whatnot. You have to put him first. Now, if you do that, then this passage, this verse, comes alive. What do you mean it comes alive? Well, taste and see that the Lord is good. Oh man, is God good in so many ways, even particularly in the midst of struggles. I was reading the other day a passage from Leviticus. It said, do not fear. I was thinking, golly gee, why is it we just can't listen to that? Why is it we can't just see God work? When you walk down the street, maybe we don't have sidewalks where I live. Maybe they do where you do. But when you're walking around, when you're going to the store, when you're getting gas, when you're uh, playing with the neighbors or talking with them, do you see God? Or do you not notice him? He is there. He's right there. But maybe you didn't see him. And when we find the excitement of walking in his presence, then we find real joy. I know a lot of you have had some really bad experiences in the past. And some of you listening to me are really struggling from those things. And that breaks my heart. But you know what? Breaks God's heart too. So give him a chance. What can you do today to attempt to see God at work? Will you think about it? As you're thinking about it, if you come up with a need or a prayer concern, let us know. We'll do whatever we can, as fast as we can, to help meet your need. Thanks so much for listening. I'll be back tomorrow, share another thought. Have a great, great day.